Everybody doing?
Great.
Let's get started. All right. Obviously, month end is tomorrow. Tomorrow?
Yes.
At midnight or 3 a.m. What time? We start our final quarter. Let's make sure we finish strong. We'll have a short power pack meeting today. We don't have access to technology right now. So in terms of the PowerPoint, so I'll use the whiteboard. Is this better? All right. So, I want to talk about something and then it'll segue into my next topic. So we talked about this on Saturday. I talked a little bit about investing and equities and stocks and all that stuff. And I want to recap some of this stuff. So, we used to do this, and we still may do this in our mutual fund presentation, but we usually start by defining a stock, and a stock is a piece of a company, right, or ownership of a company. So if you buy one share of Google and you buy it for $100, you own point. You own some of the right? And this can go up, this can go down. It can go to 200, it can go to 50, and that's called risk or volatility or price fluctuation. So before, right, and when I say before, I'm not talking like hundreds of years ago. Okay? I'm talking when I was younger, right? You see these movies, some of these older movies like Wall Street, and where you see a trading floor and people are on there and they're trading stocks and they have a piece of paper and market close, right? One of my favorite movies with the stock market was Trading Places. I don't know if you guys, you know what I'm saying. Right, great movie, right? Mortimer, Eddie Murphy, classic movie. Dante, get settled down. I know you're getting really excited. He knows that reference, okay. Great movie. So, a mutual fund was created for access. That was the number one reason why a mutual, I think MFS created the first mutual fund over 100 years ago. And it created access for people to be able to invest. Because before, you had to have a stock broker. So a broker would trade on your behalf, they would call you up, you'd execute a trade, and you used to have a lot of money to get a broker, hundreds of thousands, which in today's dollars would be millions of dollars. And you can invest in a stock, but to have diversification, they say you need 100 stocks. That's what they say. And you need, next time just come up here, like come in the front.
Alright.
Oh my
Or you'd have to have like $1 million to be properly diversified. So then we created a mutual fund, and a mutual fund is mutually funded, so it pools money, investors' money. You have hundreds, thousands, millions of people investing together, and you give your money to a manager or a company, and then they invest your money into a collection of stocks. Okay? And, the fund can have an objective. So the fund could go all international, or they could go to all a sector, all technology, all real estate type of companies. And then they pick the companies based on the objective of the fund. We want to pick companies that are projected to grow. We want to pick companies that are under $50 million market capitalization. We want to pick companies that are over $1 billion. And that's, kind of the premise. And this is on a market, right? So when you hear things like market, right? And you're trying to figure out the price, when I say price, market is supply, demand, and investor feelings. Okay, so for example, like a real estate market, like if I sell my house today, guys, is there any seats? Come in. There's one up here. So if I put my house on the market today, and I'm say I live in a coveted neighborhood, and there's 100 homes, and I'm the only house on the market. Well, I have a little bit more power because there's really no supply, and there might be a lot of demand, right? Now, if I put my house up for sale, and then 10 of my neighbors put their house up for sale, there's a lot of supply, there's probably not that much demand, the price is going to come down, right? And it's also investor feeling. What's the market feel about it? Are they feeling like, oh man, the price is going to go up, the price is going to go down? Do we have any other chairs? We got a couple. Esmalda, can you grab 2 chairs? Or do we have an extra one? So, what was I saying?
Sell the house. Everybody else.
Supply, demand, investor feeling.
All right. Anyways, so we use a company. We can use anybody, right? I wouldn't say anybody. We use a lot of mutual fund companies. One that we train on a lot is Capital Group or American Funds. And we just like kind of how they run the fund, how they manage the money, right? And some of their underlying principles on how, their philosophies on investing. Like they do research. So they spend over I think it's $150 million. And I was just checking the other day that Capital Group or American Funds manages $2.7 trillion right now. Okay, so they're the number one money managed mutual fund company. They have a lot of money under management that's actively managed, right? And they spend, call it $140, $150 million on research. When they research the companies, they investigate. They don't just research. They invest. They look at all the financial documents. They look at the history of the companies. Like they interview their employees, their suppliers, their buyers. They do so much due diligence before they invest in a company. Also, how they compensate, right? So, one thing about American Funds is they have, you've seen this, the multiple counselor system, right? So they have a team of people managing the money. So it could be, say, for example, it's me, Jordan, Samir, Malin, Esmaldo, Alex, Peter. It's 6 of us, as opposed to a mutual fund normally has 1 person, right? And the analyst, American Funds requires that you invest your own money in the fund. Now, I don't know the number. Do you know what that number was? Is it $500,000? Is it 50,000? Huh?
1
million. Okay, so as an analyst, as a mutual fund manager, if you're on the counselor system of the fund, you have to invest $1 million of your own money into the fund. So they can't ask their investors to invest money where they don't have their own money, their own personal finances.
Here's some info about finance.
You know, they also do cool things, right? Like they don't just have finance people. You know, when you look at an analyst, like they hire people in the industry. So like for their healthcare, they hire surgeons, people that understand the industry. They don't just look for people outside of an Ivy League school in finance. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those types of people. I'm just saying that's very traditional. They do things a little different. And the cool thing, and this is what made me gravitate towards American funds, is they have a lot of mantras and sayings. And I just liked it because I could repeat it to clients, and the clients I felt related to it, right? Like for example, they believe in two things. One, you never buy a company because everybody else is buying it. Okay? So just because everybody else is buying it, they don't buy it. Okay? Another thing they say is never buy a company because the price is going up. So there's two things, right? Like they don't buy companies because other people are buying it, and they don't buy it because because the price is going up. They buy it because the fundamentals are strong, the research has been done, they feel good about the outlook, and it meets the fund's objective. Now, my favorite saying, though, that they have, okay, is they believe that with a consistent philosophy and a consistent approach will yield consistent results. Let's break this down for a second. Okay? Now, this is in the world of investing. Okay? So they have a philosophy, right? We're not going to buy companies that the price is too high, or everybody's buying it, or the price is going up. We're going to look for value. Right? We're going to buy companies that are a good deal. We're going to buy companies that are well managed. We're going to buy companies that have good fundamentals. Whatever their philosophies are, we have a consistent approach to purchasing the companies for investment. And over time, we're going to have consistent results, which is what? Returns for the investor. Now, the reason I brought this up, okay, is, this is probably my favorite word in business. And this is kind of what I want to talk about just for a few more minutes, and how you can build more consistency in your life. Okay? Because I believe the same thing. Like if you have a consistent philosophy in your business and how you approach your business and what you're doing every day, you'll have consistent results. And what happens if you don't have consistent? You're inconsistent. You're unreliable. You're not predictable. You're frustrated. It's a mystery. And, Mondays are for people that want to do the business. I'm not love part-time people, and if you guys are here and some of you are planning to just be part-time, that's awesome for you. I'm not talking about. I'm talking to the people that, they want to lay they want to lay it on the line, right? This this is it. They're going to plant their flag. And one thing when I look at numbers, and I try not to go too much into the numbers because, sometimes you get frustrated or you get angry or you get irritated. But you see a lot of inconsistency. You see a lot of unreliability. And that is terrible in your business. And so you got to figure out a way to become more consistent, right? Obviously, you guys know what I've been talking about for years now is tracking your numbers. Okay? And we're making some adjustments. You'll just have to kind of talk about it because I can't show it to you. But in our SugarWatt app, which is our tracking app, okay, there's a couple categories that we've taken out, and we've added a investment category, and we've taken out some other things. You happy about that? Yeah. I heard your training was great, by the way. I can't wait to watch it. And our engagement for our app in SugarWatt is going down. It's the same people who are always on the board, always producing. Good for you, congratulations for being consistent. I know it's hard, I know it's annoying to track, I really do. But what happens if you don't track your numbers, man? Huh? What happens?
You can't be consistent.
Okay, so in my life, right, and many of you guys are, where I am in my family, you are for your family, right? I think you're the head. That's why you're here. I don't know why people kind of gravitate towards this business. The go-to people in their family usually come to companies like this because they have bigger aspirations, bigger goals, bigger dreams. So I have no choice but to be consistent because everybody is looking at me, right? So this isn't just, obviously I have to be financially consistent. I have bills to pay, right? Everybody has stuff. So I'm not saying my bills are more important than yours, but if you are a breadwinner in your family and the rent or the mortgage or the car payment or the tax payment or the cell phone bill or the food is on you, you have to be consistent. And if you're not consistent, what happens? You'll become, I'm not trying to attack anybody, but you'll become a sponge. You'll sponge off other people. That's not what you want. Here, we want you to become independent financially. We want you to become creators financially. We want you to be, you to generate financial power, energy, money, whatever you want to call it. I have to be emotionally consistent. Right? I can't just be up and down. If I'm down, dude, I had a rough day. Yeah. I got 3 kids, a baby, and a wife. It's crazy. I got my parents. I got to take, and I'm not saying like I'm their primary caregiver, but my parents call me. Your dad did this, your dad did that, I can't do that. You right? And if I'm like, oh, what? Really? What did he do? I have to be emotionally consistent. I have to be optimistically consistent. I can't just be like even keel. I have to actually be trending up. Because like everything, and if you understand, right, and it's a business and a family are very similar. Everything's 911. Everything, every single thing. I missed this assignment, I did this. I was like, okay, calm down, it'll get better, this will pass, we'll get through it. What do we need to do every single day? Every day. And so if my schedule's inconsistent, and I'm speaking from a little bit older, right? If my sleep is inconsistent, we're all effed. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't know, Samir, I'm sure you notice this, but I can always tell, and I'm sure maybe I have this too, because some people like Samir, he knows me very well, right? I know him very well. So, but I think I do a pretty good job of hiding. Okay, but you ever come up on Saturdays or Mondays and you're just like, yo, wake your ass up.
Yes.
Like you're there, but your eyes are glazed. You look like, I look like you're just gonna go right to the hospital after the treatment. Like you're just gonna get, like you need to get, and I'm not trying to be inappropriate here. I really am not. But, you know, because of the privilege that I have in this business of you know, just knowing a lot of you, you know, like, some people are going through real shit. You know, like some people, I know, you know, your ride was late. Or there was a little trip. You know, some people are like I said, I'm not trying to be inappropriate. Some people are, you know, the family members are ill right now. They're burying their family members right now. They're coming here. And not only are they coming here, they're coming here with wonderful attitudes. Like I'm talking like they normally have a normal attitude and their attitude's actually better. They're more positive, they're more excited, and I don't know how you can do it, but they're doing it. They're not putting on a great face. It's like inspiring actually. Like they're really going through stuff, and you know, it just shows me, man. And they say, man, I'll ask them, why are you here? Seriously, I'm not making this up. I said, man, why are you here, man? You shouldn't be here. They said, man, this is what they said to me. With everything that's going on, we like coming here. We like coming here. We enjoy it. We need to come here. And that's because of you, right? Some of your attitudes, some of your interactions. The messages that you guys put forth on Saturday morning for them to hear, it helps them go through something. I mean, you think about that, right? So, anyways, how do you build consistency in your life, right? Number one, it starts with a routine. And I know this is very fundamental. I know we go over this every time, right? I don't want you to raise your hand, okay, but I'll ask you a general question. How many of you have a schedule? I'm not saying it has to be an ironclad. Like I said, don't raise your hand. Thanks, Jen. I know you have one. How many can listen, probably? You know, do you go to bed at relatively the same time? Do you wake up at relatively the same time? And I know things happen in your life. I get it. I have kids. Other things happen. Right? Samir's old now. He told me he goes to the bathroom 5 times a night. It happens. I get it. Something happens, right? I'm not saying everything is going to go as planned, but you know, do you have some consistency in your life, right, with your schedule? You do similar activity every day, right? I look at the numbers, right? I look at them every day. I mean, once a week I have to input numbers I see, and the people that you can tell the days that they're very productive and they take 2-3 days off, and I'm not knocking because at least you're doing right. Every month I have to purge people from sugar one. Yeah, I have to because it costs money to hold you on the system. So if you're not posting, I'm gonna delete you, right? And then you can get back on, but some of you guys, right? I see your numbers are down that were on before, and then you haven't posted in 19 days, 20 days, 21 days, 25 days. No wonder you're at where you are. Because you're not even logging into the app to track some activity. You're not even logging a workout, which is appointment set, appointments done, interviews set, premium, recruiting, scheduling somebody for their test. Now, and I'll end with this, because like I said, we want Samira. When people are consistent in their life, I was kind of making some notes here. Number one, they're predictable. Number two, they're reliable. 3, they're confident. 4, it produces clarity in your business. Improvement. This is the big one for many of you. Reduce stress. And it gives you a great reputation. Great reputation. Consistent attitude, consistent improvement, consistent schedule. So today's the last day of September. Tomorrow is the final quarter of 2024. Okay? I'm imploring you. Okay? I'm pleading with you. Get with your trainer, maybe after the month. Okay? I know you guys have a lot to do, and I mean that. I'm sincere. I know we got to go and freaking go gangbusters, close out the month. And then we got our event. We got a lot of stuff going on. Get with your trainer. Watch Shondel's video on how to use this app. Start tracking. Build some routines in your life and consistency. When I tell people all the time, when you're consistent, you're unstoppable. Okay? When you can figure out like a combination lock to this business, because I do believe in this. Consistent philosophy, consistent approach will yield consistent results in anything. Fitness, in investing, in business, in Primerica, in financial services, in insurance sales, investment sales. And consistent results is what? Money. Consistent results is you can quit your job. Consistent results is you can retire your family members. Consistent results is you can save up for a home. Pay off your mortgage. Put your kids in college. All the things that you want come on this. Consistent results. But it starts here. So I know, I'm a broken record. I keep talking about tracking. Track every day. Do something every day. Put it in the app. You know, when people don't track, they want to hide, they want to remain anonymous, and you just can't get coached, you can't get better. All right? But I'm optimistic. I mean that. I am optimistic because some of you guys who are tracking are doing an awesome job, and you're being great examples for the rest of the people. And if you're on this app, you can see what they're doing. And I encourage you guys just to participate more, engage more, fist bump more in the app, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. I look at it every day. I still look at it. So that's where I'm looking at the numbers, and I encourage all of you guys to do the same. So Samira will finish this up. And then remember, we got month end, qualifying for the Haunted Forest, all that stuff. Give it up for Samira.